Hey, welcome to Tuesday Tonight. My name is Ultra David.
And I'm James Chen. How's everybody going?
What's up, buddy?
I don't know if you just did an inside joke that nobody else knows about, but...
No, that's what Shankar wants us to call it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh.
That's it. I don't know. We call it that sometimes, but usually just say Tuesday. Anyway, so today we have some topics. We'll be talking about Dreamhack Winter, which just happened over the weekend. We'll be talking about the Capcom Cup, and just kind of lightly. Next week, I think we'll do it probably more, but
in depth.
But we'll talk about some of the players and characters and stuff, and then we'll talk about what else is up here. I mean, I should be looking this way.
Well, got some
GG
new
Xrd
games coming out in Japan. So.
Well, if you have Japanese PSN, then you can get in there.
I could get it now if I wanted to, but I'm like, do I want to buy it twice?
All right, well, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, okay.
And then we'll talk about our rankings for our top 10 North American Street Fighter 4 players.
Right, it's the time of that's that time again when we're submitting our rankings to the Esports Max top 10 thing. And honestly, like I submitted it, but I just sent an email like, wait, let me rethink my number 10. I'm really having a hard time.
I know what you mean. It's tough. It's tough, for sure. For sure. Anyway, if we need to, we'll do viewer questions. By the way, somebody asks us, so no Smash tonight? If you didn't watch, last night we had a whole Super Smash Brothers for Wii U expose where we had D1 and Zero come on, and they talked all about game mechanics and characters. We got through half the characters.
Right. And no, we're not finishing them today, but we're finishing them next Monday.
Correct.
So they will come back. And the nice thing about it is we'll be able to go a little bit slower through the characters and stuff like that. And there's a few things we forgot to talk about, too. Like, during one of the breaks, they're like, we should talk about the Rage. And we're like, oh, that's a good idea. And then we came back and just totally didn't talk about Rage.
Yeah, there's more stuff to talk about. I mean, we were trying to get a lot of stuff done, and we couldn't really get that in depth. And towards the end, everybody was getting tired. So...
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll finish it up next Monday. So.
If you want to hear tired, like I am exhausted right now. Like let me tell you right now. So after the show ended yesterday, I was like, you know what? I really want to try this Guilty Gear Xrd demo because I got my PS4 yesterday, right? So I hooked up my PS4. Took forever for things to set up. Took forever to download the demo.
Yeah.
Finally got the demo. Played through the tutorial. It was really cool. Like 3 o'clock by the time I was done with that, so I was like, alright, I'm gonna go shower and go to sleep now, right? So it's raining here in Southern California.
Yes.
And my water heater is underground, and there's a drain pipe that runs right next to my water heater from my porch area. And when it rains a lot, there's a big crack in the pipe, and a bunch of water spills out onto my water heater. So my pilot light was dead at 3 a.m. last night, and and I like to shower before I sleep. So I couldn't do that. So I had to heat the pilot light. I had to relight the pilot light and just basically wait like half an hour. Then take a shower, which wakes me up a little bit. So I stayed up a little. I didn't go to sleep till like 5 last night.
Oh man, that sucks.
I'm so tired.
That sucks.
Oh man.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. But oh well, whatever.
That's rough.
That's life, man. So I just need to fix that pipe, dude. Seriously, I need to get that taken care of.
That's rough.
You know, there's that infomercial where they have that like little black spray that you spray.
Yes, I do.
I wonder how well that works.
That too.
Like I'm almost tempted just to buy one to see if that actually works.
Let me know if you do. Let me know how it works. Anyway, speaking of rough times for people, let's talk about Dreamhack.
Oh jeez. What a segue. Oh man. Okay.
Well, anyway, let's talk about Dreamhack Championship Street Fighter Ultra Street Fighter 4 Championship winner 2014.
Last opportunity to qualify for Capcom Cup. Right. Highest placing winner who hasn't already qualified gets into the top 16, the last spot. And because it is only 2 weeks basically before Capcom Cup, no points are awarded because it's just too late logistically at that point. They need to have paid and established 15 flights and stuff like that, right? Yeah. I mean, think about it. We wouldn't even be able to do these World Warrior videos at all
Right.
Right? If they awarded points, because who knows who was going to be in it. So, you know, just logistically, everything needs to be established. So, no points in there. So, only one person qualified from there. And so...
Only the winner.
Only the winner. And a bunch of people knew that. And so, they went out there basically to bet it all, to try to get in there. And some really big names went out there. International players, too, right? So, Peppadai was flown out there. Gamerbee went out there. Iribashi Zangief went. See, that one I wasn't expecting, but he showed up, and Fudo went out there.
Yeah, and of course, lots of European players were there, including Luffy and Reinhardt and Problem X and Andreas and whatever. Lots of people. So it was a stacked event in Street Fighter 4. I think it was only SF4. Well, let's talk about the top 8.
Sure.
Starting from the bottom, all right?
Sure,
so
let's do it.
7th place is where I'm Still the Daddy with Guile. And Andreas with Rufus, WSO Andreas. Then Razor CG Problem X with Seth and Viper. Then FGC R Kappa Peppadai with El Fuerte. 4th place was MD Luffy with Rose. 3rd place, Razor Itazan Zangief. Yes. 2nd place was Aeromedia Gamerbee Adon. 1st place, Razor Fudo with Phelon.
Boom! And you know what? The coolest
he qualifies.
The coolest thing about Fudo making it in there now is that we now have all previous EVO champions in the Capcom Cup.
Right.
So Infiltration, Shin, Daigo, and Fudo are all in there, and Luffy, of course. Yeah, so that's really cool. And to be honest with you, it feels right to me now because there's a Fei Long in there.
Yeah.
Because there just hasn't been that just seems weird to me that we didn't have a top Fei Long in the tournament.
Yeah.
But of course, it came at the expense.
Everybody's rooting for Gamerbee. Look, Fudo is a very nice person. I haven't had that many personal dealings with him, but when I have, he's been super nice. And I always see him joking around with people. And he's a great player. He's one of the best in the world.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. He should be in there.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
I agree with you. Fei Long should be in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody was sad that Gamerbee didn't make it. That said, right? Everybody was sad that Gamerbee didn't make it. Not least Gamerbee.
Yes.
Yeah, so...
And especially the way that it ended, like no spoilers right now, but the way it ended was brutal.
Panic.
Brutal, yeah.
Just...
Yeah.
And afterward, man, his expression, he stood up on the stage for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
He just didn't want to leave. And,
you
know, looked pretty rough. So he's flown out to a lot of events. Okay?
He's probably traveled the most out of everybody to try to get into this thing.
Yeah, he's put in a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money, and
dude, let me say this right now. Okay, so Gamerbee, I was watching Dreamhack, and then I fell asleep because obviously it's European time, right? And I woke up just in time for like top 3. Like it just was like magical or something. I woke up just in time to watch at least top 4 or something like that, and I only saw Gamerbee use Elena. And let me tell you something. Every time I watch people use Elena, it's just a sad exercise of dropped combos. Gamerbee, I swear, never dropped a combo like the entire time. He dropped like 1 or 2 towards the end.
It's just at the end.
When nerves were getting serious. When the panic came in. But before that, his Elena was the most consistent Elena I have seen. He landed all the combos.
Very impressive.
He had really cool healing setups and everything like that.
Great spacing with her.
Yeah, but, oh man, it's just that towards the end, and I honestly don't blame this on Elena. I think this is a weakness of Gamerbee in general, is that he thinks too much about it and he panics, and then he starts playing recklessly. You know, if we analyze the video, I can pinpoint the moments that you could see his brain was like, oh my god, I might not qualify, and then his like gameplay just kind of falls apart at that point.
Yeah. So here's Gamerbee's tournament career in Ultra Street Fighter 4. Okay, starting from the very first one, which was DreamHack Summer 2014. Okay, 2nd place there. Southeast Asia Majors, 7th place. Evo, 9th, just outside of top 8. He won Shadowloo Showdown. He got 2nd place at the Taiwan Capcom Pro Tour. Got 4th place at Tiger Uppercut. He got 2nd place at Red Fight District. He got 6th place at CPT Asia Finals. And he got 2nd place at Dreamhack Winter.
Right.
So he had... You're right. He's probably the most traveled international player. He had the most success. As far as anybody who didn't qualify for Capcom Cup goes, by far, he was the most traveled.
Oh, yeah.
He had the most success.
Mm-hmm.
He had the best in prizes. He missed qualifying.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. He had all these chances, and I feel like it's almost silly to say, well, you should have won more, but I mean, that's what it would have taken, realistically speaking. So
I mean, a lot of people have been saying things like maybe it was unfair because there was more events in the U.S. that got points and all this stuff like that. But I mean, honestly, CPT Asia Finals was his big opportunity. Yeah. Because he just had to get 4th place, and he would have gotten points, and then he would have surpassed. He lost to NuckleDu in points by 6 points.
Right.
I think it was just like 6 or 8 points or something like that. So if he had just placed a tiny bit higher in CPT Asia Finals, he would have qualified. Now, I mean, I'm not trying to give him a hard time because, my God, he's beating himself up enough as it is. Like, he was even, talking about retirement and stuff like that, which is not going to happen. No, it's not. Dude, if he does, I will fly to Taiwan and kick his ass until he starts playing again because he's too good to stop right now. So... But, this guy's beating himself up over this. And honestly, I told him on Twitter, I was like, take a break. Don't think about Street Fighter for a couple of months. And then come back and come back stronger, basically.
Yeah, maybe just don't even watch Capcom Cup.
Yeah. But seriously.
One of the things is the online qualifier.
Yeah.
People are talking about. That's a large portion of why NuckleDu qualified.
Because he won 2 of those.
Right, and I don't think that there were as many or any in East Asia. So that, I feel like that is a problem with how things were set up. I would like to see that addressed in the future. But that said, everybody knew the rules, and it would have been totally possible, like you said, 4th place at that CPT Asia tournament. If he had done better at some of the other ones, different story.
And frankly, you can't even blame the online tournaments for why NuckleDu got in there. Because frankly, nobody else entered except for NuckleDu.
Dude, he did it. He did it absolutely right. Yeah, I'm not blaming him at all. I don't think it's that great a system, but if we're operating in the system, he did a great job of it, and other people did not. So good stuff to him.
He didn't broadcast that he was going to be in it, which is a smart thing to do.
Absolutely.
And everybody, honestly, everybody else should have been entering it and gatekeeping NuckleDu, right? Not specifically to gatekeep him, but that's just the way it ends up happening. But nobody did, and no one remembered it, and it was announced right away. Right at the start of this, there were premiere events, ranking events, and there were going to be online tournaments.
Yes.
Right from the get-go, these were announced. Yes. So it's really a lot of, even guys like K-Brad and stuff like that totally should have taken advantage of those things, I don't know, did K-Brad enter any of them? Or like Smug? Smug is an awesome online player,
That's true.
He's the top 10 Dudleys on the USF4 board, so yeah. But I just don't think a lot of people took advantage of it. So
right. So as a result, people are. Well, Gamerbee is quite upset. I was looking forward to hanging out with him if possible.
Oh, yeah,
it's not going to happen.
Of course.
I don't want to make it seem like I'm not glad for Fudo because, like I said, he really deserves to be there. He's one of the best players in the world. He and his character and the history you mentioned with being an Evo champ, all that should be in there. Yeah. I'm glad that it is.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it is. Well, how about the rest of the tournament? Anything to note?
I mean, look, between Snake Eyes and Itabashi Zangief, right? Dude, Zangief is so good in this game.
He is really good, yeah.
He's so good in this game. For sure. It's getting to the point now where when I watch them both play, and it's really interesting because they play wildly different Zangief styles.
Yeah, sometimes they go very differently.
Completely different Zangief styles, but my God, that character, sometimes I wonder how he even loses. It's getting to that point now. Because, when he, green hands and hits you, and you're like, I need to jump away. If he green hands again, he gets the lariat people out of the air. That's so good.
It is good, for sure.
Really, so you can stop the backdash with the light green hand, and if they jump back, you can lariat them.
Right. If they sit still, then you get your ass kicked. But you're right.
Ridiculous.
I'm not going to tell you he's not really good. I mean, you remember when Ultra came out, I was saying that Eve was a high-tier character, and people were like, oh, I don't know yet, but all the grapplers are high-tier.
Dude, who was the one who tweeted us that picture
Hugo.
again? where it was like the picture of the Ultra Street Fighter 4 cover with all the graves on it, and the
Eternal posted that up again.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? That was a thing during the beta.
Yeah, and they had the graves, and one of them said Zangief, one of them said Fei Long, and it was like, really?
Right. Yeah, that was when we didn't know about some of the buffs. If you recall, there were nerfs that we knew about, and I think at the time Green Hand was -3 on hit, so like it's a different character at the time, but yeah, he's a very good character. Yeah, for sure. But I don't think he's top 5.
Oh no, I don't think he's top 5.
I feel like he's on the cusp of 10, somewhere around there.
I agree,
but definitely very good.
I still think Fuerte is a better character than Zangief, but
I think I agree with that.
Yeah, but
yeah. I really liked him and his path. His path was full of extremely strong players to get to where he did 3rd place.
He got put in loser's bracket early, and he basically had to fight through a bunch of people. And really, honestly, like I said, he did it by being crazy. He did a lot of empty jump ultras. He did a lot of wake up ultras, and he did a lot of like things like that.
Yeah, very interesting movement, like risky movement, like you're talking about the green hand over and then anti-air lariat.
Right. And then like Luffy, for example, got caught by wake up ultras and empty jump ultras like all over the place and stuff like that. So it's just like it's really, really strong play from Itabashi Zangief, but then he peppers in those moments of just like complete hysteria, and
he does that well.
It throws it off so well. Agreed. You know what I mean? It's perfect. I'm not even saying that he's like a crazy. He's not like Punko Seth status, but he just knows when to go crazy, and because he does that. Because you know he's capable of that, he's so hard to fight. Yeah. Because you don't know what to expect from him. So
yeah. I was impressed by Problem X's Seth. He played the character.
Oh, see, I didn't see.
So he sent Itazan to losers bracket.
Oh, okay.
And Itabashi came back and in the run back beat Problem X.
Yeah.
The Seth. I thought his Seth was really good. Other than that, the player I was most impressed by for a little bit, unfortunately, was Andreas's Rufus.
Oh, okay.
When he was playing against Luffy, he blew up backdash so badly for like 2 games.
Oh,
Luffy,
nice.
you know, a Rose player though, they backdash, and so he was doing such a good job on that. And then at some point, he just kind of quit doing it. Like he started to believe like, okay, now I've taught Luffy don't backdash, so now I'm gonna go for throws because he's gonna sit still, and you know that sort of thing. Just kind of got into his own head about it. I think
you can't ever teach Rose players not to backdash.
Right? Yeah, I feel like they have to really lose to figure that out. So I feel like he just sort of he thought that he had taught the lesson before he did, but until that point, it was so good. I was really impressed. And then I think at the end, that's right. At the very end, Andreas. He had a punish opportunity, and he got close fierce, and then not the spin. He just got close fierce, and he got punished because it's unsafe. Rufus close fierce is unsafe. He got punished and he died.
Oh man!
So it was like a really sad way to go out.
It sucks.
But I thought that was really nice.
You know what I actually thought was really interesting is, did you see the tweet from Snake Eyes after DreamHack? After Fudo he's like, Fudo qualified, things just got interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
Because he knows, because Fudo blew up Snake Eyes at Evo pretty badly. Yeah. So that's not going to be a fun match for him. He's going to need some Fei Long practice out here. He's going to, I hope he can find some people to play a super, super patient Fei Long style like Fudo can, because when I was watching that match, I didn't feel like he could do anything.
That was such a tough match. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know that you're going to find that level of patience and spacing.
Dude, impossible.
Yeah.
Unless you just fly Fudo out here, right?
But there are some players who are really good, who I know he does play online, or he just played when he was in Texas, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So he'll have more experience in that matchup. But at the same time, Fudo is playing with Itazan all the time. So it's just a bad draw if that ends up happening. So anything else to say about DreamHack?
Just thought it was really well done and everything, and they had some really fancy chairs, and I wasn't sure what was up with the little toothbrush Lego microphones that they had, but
I don't think I noticed that.
You didn't notice that?
No.
They had the crazy microphones off the headsets that were like, they looked like Lego toothbrush or something like that. It was really bizarre looking, but yeah.
I did notice that the one guy, not F4, the other guy, he had the headset on the wrong side.
Oh yeah. Oh okay.
Nobody notices this except for like commentators, I guess.
Right.
But when you're sitting somewhere, like imagine James had the little mouth thingy on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where he has it fake now is the correct side, because turn to me, and now you don't really see it. But if it were on the other side, like I imagine I had mine like right here, right? I'm talking to you, right? It's fine. And then I go like this, and now it's like right in the middle of my mouth.
Right.
So you can't see.
So I didn't even know about that. You pointed that out one time, and then I remember talking to, I think it was Seglia, and he was like, "Yeah, this is just a common broadcasting thing."
He's the one who I think told me about that in the first place. Okay. I don't think I ever noticed that before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I like the commentary a lot, man.
Yeah, for sure.
UK commentary is very solid.
Yeah, F-Word is always one of the best guys, right? So yeah, we should definitely, like, if he can come to Evo, like it'd be awesome if we can get him to do a bunch of Evo matches.
You know, 2 years ago he was supposed to do commentary at Evo.
That's right.
And he was lined up with me. And then I forget what it was, but something came up, or his flight was late, or it was something like that.
Right.
And he couldn't end up doing it.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that now. So hopefully he can make it out next year. It'd be awesome if we can get him out there.
Absolutely, so, I'd love to see that.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I guess that's it for that.
Yeah. Do you want to take a quick break or something?
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we will talk about the rest of these things over on the left.
That's correct.
Left.
On the left.
All right. See you soon.